Hello, and welcome back to You Better Fact Check Because I Had Wine First. Here with my co-host, Andrea. And I'm Andrea.
Hi.
And no, it's not Tuesday. It is Saturday, and I'm being held accountable and hostage to do this podcast.
Call it what you want.
Also, you hear a baby in the background because I'm babysitting-ish. Family, kinda.
She only wants to do a podcast in theory, not in actuality. And somebody told me she had too many irons in the fire.
My mother, because I had someone looking at the yard to give me a quote. I had someone dropping off the baby. I had Andrea coming for the podcast. And now I have this baby over here squirming who's probably going to be on screen in a second because he was fine right up until I hit live. But we're going to do a little quick old recap on our week and on last week's podcast if you still have your notes. I have my analog life, but I probably don't know what page it was on.
I left mine in the bag.
Mine's in pink. And by pink, I mean some of the pages are pink, some are green, some are blue. Do we talk about the Pope?
You did it.
We did not.
You did it.
It's been quite a while. There's no new Pope yet.
No, not yet.
The Pope did die. If you don't know that, spoiler alert. Um, it's probably in heaven. Do we talk about Cory Booker? No.
No.
Wait a second. Did we not talk about any of the
We didn't
fun
talk about
important
anything
things?
important.
We talked about Carly Russell.
We did.
We did. We talked about that. We stayed too long on it. We talked about single moms and dating. I know we did that.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about Alabama Barker and Bad Baby.
Bad Baby.
Okay. So this week we're at, after we tell you about our week, this week we're at Screaming Plants, Diaspora Wars, and we'll touch on some other things. But first off, we're recapping our week.
Mm.
And Andrea, what did you do this week?
I got put in a group chat because apparently my 10-year-old son is the only one in his class that doesn't have a cell phone. So to not leave him out, he put my phone number in the group chat. And I have been dealing with 10-year-olds in a group chat, and I would like to do a dramatic reading right now.
Okay, I would love for you to do a dramatic reading. Let's do this.
Okay, so just to clarify, there's also been multiple group chats made
Okay.
in a short amount of time.
Okay.
And so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
These are the break off group chats. Okay.
These are 7 group chats that have been made total, I think.
Okay.
So,
Hilarious.
okay, so everyone text this group chat now, not the other one. Someone responds, all right. The teacher sends a message about how she wants everyone to wear green because she wants them to improve on their testing. So then someone comes back and says, text this one. And then someone says, Zay, hello. Hey, Jason, what are you doing? None. Who was the other people? And then it names the people. And then I'm just known as Daniel's mom.
Okay.
And then they start to question who someone is because their name auto-corrected because, as you can see, it is a non-conventional spelling.
Uh-huh.
And so it auto-corrected to this very conventional spelling.
Yes.
So then that child got very offended that anyway, so there's a lot of back and forth based on that. So there's questioning as to why there was another group chat made. They said they needed to add someone else, and they said you should stay on this one. And then there's another one that just says this one, and then there's one that just says yas.
Yes.
And then
Gosh.
there's a lot of yapping.
Okay.
And then somebody said, why are you getting annoyed? And they said, which one? And he said, you shouldn't have made 11 group chats. And then they said, question mark, 11. It's just a lot of.
Oh my God.
So anyway, I've been in hell.
Because you won't get your kid a phone.
Because I had the audacity to not get my 10-year-old a phone. And so now I have to hear about who's on the way to school and who's about to get in the shower. And stop texting this one and stop talking to me like that. And
Well, that's a very long.
this one was a long one. They were trying to get there, said, stop talking to me. Y'all need to text the other group chat.
Oh, so, but they're all texting that.
They're all texting different group chats.
Group chat.
No, they're all texting different group chats at once.
That's great.
And so somebody says, "Oh, I wouldn't let nobody talk to me like that."
Oh, really? You're 10.
And then somebody else jumps in and says, "Don't let me tell the teacher," but the teacher is on the group chat, so
Okay. And she
all
the
the
anything. She doesn't care.
she's probably muted it. So
Okay.
anyway, so yeah, that's been my week. I've literally been dealing with. They daily fill themselves in on stuff like, "I'm on my way to school now."
Just brush my teeth, dog.
Right.
Like, I'm happy you remembered to brush your teeth.
Like, good for you, honey.
Because that's not always the case.
It's not always the case. So yeah, that's my week. How's your week been?
My week was okay. It started out a little rocky. We were supposed to have a podcast on Tuesday. I got overwhelmed with the day. I had too many irons in the fire that day as well. Let's see. I worked all week. I called out Friday. I was sick. I never call out, so that's the thing. Today's Saturday. I feel better, and it's like podcast time, babysitting time, yard quote time. It was a pretty full day. What else did I say happened this week?
I don't know. I think this
Mhm.
that might have been a good recap. You had inventory this week. How was that?
I didn't have any.
Oh, you didn't? No, that was last week.
No, I already had mine.
Okay, sorry, that's my bad. There was a day where you were counting.
Oh, I was doing counts because I had a lot of bad counts. Oh my God.
Goodness.
Since we come from the same space and we've done the same kind of job, she knows that if you don't have accurate counts, you were like ruined. And you get things ordered that you don't need, and you get things ordered that you have too much of. Let's see what else. Bananas. My kids have had a pretty good week, which is, upside. My daughter's going with her boyfriend.
She's a boyfriend? She does.
She is 15.
How long have they been dating?
15. Like over a year.
Oh, that's cool.
Like a year and like 4 or 5 months.
That's like 20 years in teenager time.
Okay. I was like, they're basically married.
They're basically
I hate
married.
it. I hate it so much. Listen, he's one of the sweetest kids that I've ever met.
Oh my
And
gosh.
I hate it so much. I want to hate him so bad. Like real bad. But he's so sweet. Hey, Miss Andrea, how you doing? How's your day? So kind all the time. His mom, sweetest person.
That's good.
I hate him so bad.
Aww.
Because I'm the mom, so of course. I want to hate him.
You want to just be like, get out of here.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Hurry up and mess up so this stuff is gone.
Sure.
But no, he's just too
Good
good.
boy.
He's a good boy. Oh, I love it. My son said he has a girlfriend. He doesn't want to talk about it. Which is funny because when we have girls, friend, did you drop it? I guess give them to me. I'm babysitting and podcasting. And I promise you, we've sat here for 2 hours and only talked to each other. And he has sat and done nothing the whole time. Not like made an actual sound.
He needs more milk.
He does. Now we're about to. Do you guys know how to make a bottle? I'll teach you how to today.
This is a weird life. We're just
This is a
feeding
weird.
children and
Yeah. So, because this is You Better Fact Check, because we had wine first, we definitely had a bottle of wine before we started. So it may get a little crazy up in here.
So while you make a bottle, I'm actually going to explain to people the phenomenon behind screaming plants.
Please do. This is my favorite part, but I gotta miss it for a second. But I'm gonna be listening.
You can tell me your thoughts on that. Actually, we're going to start with the part where you might want to fact check. I actually had heard about a study where someone wanted to prove to see if plants had feelings. So he started talking around plants about how he was going to set them on fire. Mm-hmm. And he had a device to measure for sound around these plants. And the plants essentially started to scream when he just at the notion that they were going to be set on fire. At the idea that somebody was like, I'm scared. Yeah, right. So, you brought up something similar where you were like, I heard about screaming plants. And so that's what made me do a little bit more research onto whether or not plants can scream. So turns out that plants emit an ultrasonic sound when they're stressed. So if they're cut, dehydrated, or in any way damaged, they said that they emit a sound in a frequency range that's too high for humans to hear. So it's between 20 to 100 kilohertz. Um, when I looked up how much, what range can humans hear? I actually looked it up before, but and then your hearing changes over time, but humans can typically hear between 20 to 20,000. But the average adult's hearing is about 15 to 17.
So we can't hear nothing.
So they're at 20 to 100. So it's way too it's way too high.
It's way too high for us to ever hear it, but it's happening.
That it's happening.
They probably think we're just savages because you hear me screaming in pain and you're continuing to click off my limbs.
Well, and I think that like probably something that's horrifying is like if you were to be like cutting down an entire forest worth of trees.
Oh wow.
That probably sounds like a rave. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Like
Yeah.
as far as all of them emitting this noise.
Right.
So they're saying that the screams aren't actually emotional and it's more of a biological reaction, kind of like how a broken machine makes a weird noise. So it's more of okay, so the situation is basically like if they're dry or like I said, damaged or something like that, they emit this sound that's basically like the water releasing.
Like steam?
Kind of. Because their innards are mostly made of water.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like the water being released, or if they're dehydrated, the opposite of like whatever the plant parts of the plant that have water kind of losing that water because of the dryness is
Okay.
what the sound that they're basically making.
Okay.
So they're saying that like animals like bats, mice, or other insects might be able to hear and react to the sounds
Okay.
of the screaming plants, but it's more of a, like I said, it's a byproduct of air bubbles forming and bursting inside of the stems. And if you want to look up that process, it's called cavitation.
Okay.
Where the
This is that fact check part of the show where you can come back and leave comments about whether you thought it was a fact or not, or something you got that's disputed are facts that she's researched.
So they say that some of the sounds might actually be the plants might actually be communicating. So other plants of its kind may be able to prepare. So if they're trying to alert them to a drought, other plants may start to like hold on to water and things like that more.
That's crazy.
So
Listen.
I really like that idea.
So in Pocahontas, when she was singing the song, what are the words to the song?
I have to really think about it. But they're basically saying that they have feelings and they
Yeah.
talk and they
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Disney clearly is
they
really
really
everything.
Yeah, they really do.
Disney knows. And
Disney-
and we'll have to revisit how Disney knows everything
I don't know.
and how the Simpsons predict everything.
Yeah.
But at this moment, Pocahontas knew that we were painting with all the colors of the wind. And listen to the plant scream and live and don't take more than what you need.
Cavitation.
Cavitation.
That's the word of the day.
Cavitation. When your cavities is dry. No? Maybe. Okay. All right.
So moving right along.
Moving right along to what are we talking about?
I don't know if you want to just kind of shoot off the hip because I don't actually have notes on the Cory Booker thing. What were your thoughts on Cory Booker's historic filibuster that surpassed Strom Thurmond's?
I know. His filibuster against the civil rights.
It's definitely symbolic. I mean,
it's super symbolic. So
yeah.
Uber, let me use some keywords. An uber racist person does the filibuster against civil rights. And then a black person surpasses his time length at his filibuster in kind of in favor of human rights, not really just Black people rights, but everybody rights. And kind of he was reading off letters that people had sent to him, obviously people in his constituents, about everything that was happening and what they needed, and about Medicare and just taxes and everything that's going wrong right now. And people are saying it's performative, but what isn't supposed to be? Like, these are things that they need to hear. So somewhere in your 75 to 85-year-old congressperson heart, you decide, oh, I'm going to die in a little bit. Let me start voting in a way that helps the people who are going to be here when I'm gone. But maybe they don't care. Maybe it's going to always be about the dollar.
I don't know that it's always about the dollar. I think it's about what affects you personally. So I've seen a lot of people on social media talk about how they voted one way, and then it turns out that the policies ended up affecting them personally, and they lost maybe funding for their small business or things like that, their farm. And that's really what I meant, is their farm, not even their small business, for their farm or something like that, where it affected them, their VA benefits were affected or something like that. And then all of a sudden they feel like, well, wait a second. I think that the leopards would eat my face.
That part. Also, at the core of it, I mean, it's a buzzword. It's true most of the time to say all these people are racist, but at the core of it, they are classist, and they don't care anything about the people that are outside of their class. They're not trying to assist you and help you, and they're trying to make you believe that this is a pull yourself up by the bootstraps kind of world, and they didn't.
It's not a level playing field.
It's not, and they're just making it more and more pitched. It's never going to be the country of what the founding fathers wanted, because keep in mind the Revolutionary War was fought behind you not wanting to pay taxes, and now we pay taxes on taxes on taxes. So let's get it clear.
Well, I've met conservatives that are vehemently against abortion because they said that it's wrong to play God.
Mm-hmm.
Now, just for clarity, I've never had an abortion, and I don't think that abortion is good, but I also don't believe that I'm supposed to tell anybody else what they're supposed to do with their body. It's not about me thinking that killing babies is okay, because every baby that I got pregnant with, I brought forth because it was my responsibility. I just want to put that out there, just saying what I'm about to say next. Now, the same people that will say things like, it's not right to play God will do several rounds of in vitro fertilization to get pregnant. If you don't, if we're talking about playing God, like if he said, if he didn't build you to naturally make a baby, if he didn't build you to naturally make a baby, why do you feel like you can go around that to make sure you can?
Right.
And I'm, again, if you want to go do what you do to have a child, do what you do.
Right.
But I feel like it's ironic that the same people that feel really strongly about certain things, when it affects them personally, and now they can't have a baby naturally, they will go through several rounds of in vitro, and they'll have multiple children with in vitro. And I actually know someone who not only went through multiple rounds of in vitro, but also when they adopted children, they didn't just adopt regular white children, they adopted minority children. And I know that it has to do with the fact that they were easier to get.
Oh,
so I truly, again, you said racism feel cliche, but it's a racist adoption, because if you could have got your hands on a blonde-haired, blue-eyed baby, you would have took that blonde-haired, blue-eyed baby.
If you could have got that little Aryan baby,
that would have been everything.
Dream.
But because it was easier to get an Asian girl and a black boy, then that you were with the shits.
Yeah.
So,
absolutely, 100%. So my stance is super, super clear. No one has any right to say what anyone else is going to do with their personal body. I'm a firm believer in, it's not a baby. It is a parasite until it is able to live and be viable on its own. So they can do what they want with their personal body. For me, I got 3 children. Absolutely, it's feeding off your body. You are dying. You are dying. Your teeth are falling out. Your hair is falling out. But we're in love with these parasites. But yeah, they are living off of you. They're an actual.
That's a heartbeat.
Actual leech.
It's a heartbeat.
Google it. Does a leech have
No,
heartbeats?
I didn't. No,
I'm just kidding.
definitely.
What else has heartbeats that definitely live off somebody else? I mean, I get it. So a baby is like a colloquialism. That's not a real medical term. It is a fetus. I'm being an advocate for the people who are like, I am pro-choice. This is your life. You get to choose what happens with the rest of it. And she was out here having the sex. I forgot we were on YouTube and I almost said that other word that I say a lot. You were out here having sexy time and you decided, well, I don't want a baby out of this. I just wanted the sexy time. That's fine for you. But also, it's fine for the girl who wants to have all six of her kids, or for the girl who wants to be married and have 14 children, or John and Kate plus eight, which there's the in vitro folks, or who's the lady with the pedophile song?
What?
19 kids and counting.
Oh,
Yeah. I guess the oldest son was molesting the daughters. So, I mean,
and then they found child porn on his computer, which is why he's in jail.
yes.
Yeah.
So, all the things.
You may want to check your facts because we've had one, but yeah, that's what we remember.
I remember that from back listening to other people. It's kind of the news. Maybe it was ETV, but this might have been real news. So please check your facts on that. Allegedly molested his sisters, and he probably is in jail.
And I think one of them wrote about it because I think like at least one of the daughters has brought out put out a book and talked about it. I believe like my brother was inappropriate with me kind of thing. So news. And then when the parents knew about it and it sent them to like Guatemala on some kind of mission or something weird.
Not a mission trip with somebody else's little bitty children.
So I was like,
what are you doing, parents?
What?
And keep in mind, you're faith-based family, and you're like, just go over here.
Just go violate other children.
Not your siblings.
In a different climate.
Go get a tan.
Right.
Molest across the border.
Molest across the equator.
Yeah. Go to the rainforest. Go to the, where did he
Go forth and molest on the rainforest.
Molest. Also spread the word of God in the missions. Like, I can't. And maybe we should not have had wine first, because I don't know if I.
No, but that's exactly what they did, though. They literally were like, it's fine.
It's okay.
They can't speak English.
Like, who's going to believe them? You're out here helping them build huts.
You're only attracted to your blood sisters. You know what I mean? Like, just think about it. What? You didn't sit him down? You didn't call a psychologist?
You didn't do any of that? See what's
you didn't run a battery and test?
Nothing? Nothing tipped you off to, let's not send him to another country.
Let's go build a school for brown children. Whatever happens, happens.
Just let it happen.
Just let it happen. It's the will of God.
The will of God. God's will.
God forbid us, but I mean, forgive us. But I have had one. But yes, I know. It seems weird that's how they handled it for sure. So
that's crazy.
That is crazy.
But also fact check, because I don't know if he went to Guatemala or the rainforest or wherever he went, but he definitely
did go somewhere. They sent him off.
He went somewhere other than here.
They sent him off,
and now he's somewhere
other than
here. He's probably
and the wife stayed with
boyfriend.
I know. He got locked up when he was pregnant. She was like, pregnant, was she?
Yes.
Which I was like,
she was pregnant, and didn't they already have like a little girl?
Amelia, yeah.
I wouldn't, baby. I would have dipped. Do you know you can get divorced for free if somebody's in jail? I think.
Yeah, but
well, that
she's only going off of like Bible reasons for getting divorced.
What?
Probably.
Not the Bible reasons.
You know what I mean? I don't think she was. She's definitely being like, no, I said for divorce. And it's just worse.
Oh, this is worse right now. When he's out, it'll be better. We'll write a new show. Because right now the show's in syndication.
This is for sickness and health, and he's just
this is sick. When he's healthy again, oh my God,
it's gonna be fine.
It's gonna be so great.
We have another baby
or two, hopefully not girls.
He is attracted to his blood.
So happy.
Let's not forget
about spit all over.
So yeah, there's that.
There's that. Are we talking about the important things while we have this much fun? I feel like it's.
I don't know.
I don't know if it's important things to talk. Diaspora wars might get heated.
Diaspora wars might get heated, but I want to lay a foundation because I feel like
So
This is
that
a
needs to be a whole episode.
multi-conversation.
So we're gonna do our actual real research on things across the diaspora.
Well, I personally wanted to lay a foundation for what it means to be a product of enslavement in the Caribbean.
Because them folks do not think that they were slaves.
Because I actually got some knowledge imparted on me in researching for this episode. And so I just kind of wanted to share with you some shit.
I also got
stuff
some
that I
knowledge
saw.
imparted on me when I went to Jamaica, and I realized how they saw it. And I'm like, you really think that because y'all were free sooner that you weren't like for real slaves? Like, because your freedom came in a different way, that you weren't like slaves? Y'all are crazy. I feel like that's a lot of time watching in the Caribbean and other places feel like they're better than Black Americans in their struggle through freedom.
Well, and as a product of slavery, I will say what's going on, and then we can definitely get into that. Like I said, this is definitely a multi-segment situation, but by the 18th century, the Caribbean had one of the highest concentrations of enslaved Africans in the world. Estimates say that over 4 million Africans were forcibly transported to the Caribbean during the slave trade. So far more enslaved people were brought to the Caribbean than North America. For example, 388,000 Africans were brought to what became the United States, compared to the millions that came to the Caribbean islands. So one of the largest slave colonies was what is now known as Haiti, with nearly 500,000 enslaved people by the late 1700s, which is how they were later able to do a coup and overthrow the government.
But then spend all these years paying taxes back to France. But we'll pick up.
We'll circle back. We'll definitely circle back. So because we definitely need to hit all.
We're in a country in turmoil, and I probably know about 15 Haitian people who are currently in our area working, and I should know that many Haitian people.
Not all the way uphill.
Okay.
So Jamaica had around 300,000 at the time of emancipation in 1830. Barbados was one of the earliest, which is where my people are from. No, they're from Jamaica and Barbados, but I really claim Barbados. It's one of the earliest islands to develop a plantation economy that had a majority of an enslaved population by the 1600s. The life expectancy of enslaved people in the Caribbean was lower than in the Americas, and many of them died within 7 of 10 years of arriving due to brutal working conditions on the sugar plantations. And because of the high death rates, the plantation owners were constantly importing new slaves rather than depending on natural population growth like the US. So in the US, they brought them and they made them breed and have kids and have kids and have kids. And that's where the slaves came from. Whereas in the islands, they just kept bringing more and more and more and more.
They was killing them all.
Because they was basically killing them. Within 10 years, they would drop dead. Yeah. So only the strong survived. And
hilarious.
They got replaced often. So in British Caribbean, slavery ended in 1834. And though the enslaved people actually had to serve in a forced apprenticeship until full freedom in 1838. In the French Caribbean, emancipation came with the Haitian Revolution. And, we spoke about there's something to do with that. So, and I don't want to get into it because this is like a really, there's like a whole conversation about like reparations. And how
now. She's talking.
Friend, I'm sorry.
You're being so disrespectful.
I did research.
She's reading all of the things that she researched.
I know it's like ChatGPT, but like it's still research.
Still research.
Like I'm
Tell a friend.
Do you want to play with something?
You don't have toys.
Okay, so Haiti was Haiti was forced to pay France a debt. It's called the independence debt for the loss of enslaved people, crippling its economy for over a century, which is 100 years.
Yes, so that was because they came back. So first off, these people beat you, and you come back with the help of the Americas and everybody else, you pull up with your ships and you're like, we're going to destroy and kill everyone if you don't agree to pay us these taxes for the slaves that we lost and the things that we lost because we lost. You raggedy.
That is crazy though.
Like, but here's the thing about loving your people and going, okay, fine, we'll pay this because we don't want you to kill our people. Y'all don't care none about y'all folks.
How did they have a Jamaican Tea Party like they had a Boston Tea Party? Like, what was going on? You know what I mean? Like, how they just was like, no more taxes? Like, they missed the boat on that.
They missed it. Maybe because, like, they used it first over here. And they were like, y'all can't do that again. No more taxes, my toe.
Um,
Come on.
well,
Well,
and this is the actual, I think that African Americans tend to focus on the racism and the Jim Crow era that was experienced in the United States, where in the Caribbean, they instituted a silver roll and a gold roll system, which is basically a segregation system. Silver roll is for low paid Black non citizen laborers, while white American workers were put on gold roll. That's a system that they actually instituted in Panama, where I'm from.
mm-hmm.
Um, as Caribbean families settled in Panama to build a canal in places like Cologne and Panama City. My great grandfather was a British citizen from Barbados who worked on the silver roll, which means that he was paid significantly less than his white counterparts, and he lived in substandard housing as compared to his white counterparts. The impact of that is that 80 years later, as I was graduating from high school, descendants of kids that were on whose family was on the gold roll lived in areas that were considered far more desirable. Like, and so while there it was almost like it's visible lines of racism, and it wasn't outright, like it wasn't, they didn't hate us and we didn't hate them,
Mm-hmm.
but there was an understanding about a separation. And I know that like I went to a school that wasn't desegregated until the early 80s. And that was an American colony in other countries. That's something that you'll find in places like India, anywhere that you see Americans like show up and they just act like we own the joint. Like they're going to create a space where like
Americans can feel American in somebody else's country.
superior. Yeah. So, but and the gag is that they recruited Caribbean people to help build a canal because there was a high risk of malaria, yellow fever due to all the mosquitoes.
Mm-hmm.
And the Caribbean workers, because they were accustomed to mosquitoes, weren't susceptible, as opposed to the French workers who came and all dropped dead when they tried to build the Panama Canal. Because
First off, whites ain't Brazilians. Hold on. I see that put on a t-shirt.
Sure. Hi. She had to go put the baby away. Last week I kicked over my water cup, and this week she has a baby, so. And we don't have a charcuterie plate this week.
This week. Mom said that she did not sign up to do no podcast. I mean, to do no babysitting, and she definitely was babysitting. Because why is he making all the noise? I promise he didn't say anything the whole time he's sitting here.
He really has been quiet. He just started.
And
But
he's
yeah,
hyping himself up. He must stay up late. I do not.
but we can definitely revisit that conversation about like, I would love to hear your thoughts on, I guess, slavery and colonialism as it grew in the US and the system of segregation that was created once that came to be, like whether it was found
I was
to be
watching
separated.
another thing the other day, which I would like to do some research on. I was watching somebody talk about segregation and how segregation literally was until the Birmingham, Montgomery bus boycotts. It was not a problem for Black Americans. They were thriving in their own communities. And all of a sudden now we want to be like integrated into white society, where before a lot of the problem was they just weren't letting Black communities thrive on their own. It's like, okay, now you have a better job than me, you're doing better than me, then they're destroying entire towns, which we can also talk about that. Like, Lanier is a great show.
Or even like the was the Oklahoma massacre,
Tulsa.
Yeah, Tulsa massacre. I'm sorry.
Yes, which there's like what, two women that are left 100 years old. You tell me you can't pay two women reparations for you destroying Black Wall Street? Because then you have to admit that this is real and this is something that you do, and that you have a system that is built on hatred and racism.
You know he's reinstituting Columbus Day.
So
I was like,
okay.
In the movie that I watched in 8th grade, before everybody in air quotes got woke, he had syphilis and was spreading it to the indigenous population.
That part.
So why are we acting like?
Or why are we not remembering that America is called America because of Amerigo Vespucci and not called Columbus Land? Because he actually knew where he was.
Also, where like they thought they found like it. People still call it the West Indies because they thought they had landed in India. Like,
what a time to be stupid. I'm not what a time to be alive.
And they refer to it for so long as the West Indies. So, or West India. So it's just like, and what they did over the British over there is just like bananas. I've just like heard like
Real.
Yeah, it's horrible. And then
you said what they did to the British?
No, what the British did in India.
Oh my God.
It's horrific. And then
I have like read and watched many things. I feel like I watch more documentaries about other people's country than I do ours, because we have like verbal history. We have our families telling us things here, their friends, learning from other people, just hearing it in the community. So I do watch more about other people's country than I do here. Oh my gosh. What's the place called in Africa right now where they have that young president? The place is oh, now I feel awful. Burkina Faso, maybe.
Is that it?
Oh my gosh. The president's name is Ibrahim Traore, maybe Trasore, maybe. I don't know, but I know his first name is Ibrahim. The place is Burkina Faso or Burkina Faso. But them, Niger, so whatever the countries are, they've listed as like the poorest countries in the world. Are you trying to figure out?
It's Burkina Faso. It is Ibrahim Traore.
Yes.
Traore.
Something like that. Anyway, he's over there doing his
big coup in 2022. He's 37 years old.
2022. When he was 37, right?
Yeah, so he was 37 in 2022. Yeah.
I can.
But no, he is 37 right now.
Okay.
Yeah. So they're making the second youngest head of state in the world.
So, of course, the Western world is trying to vilify him, as they do anybody who is like, we don't actually need you anymore. Since we're the poorest country, then let us be broke over here by ourselves. But the French and the United States are trying to make a stand, and it's like, he should be arrested. I'm sorry, what? Yeah, so just look it up. I'll do some read. Oh, thank you for saying what it was. I didn't even look at the screen. Hey, my best friend. Best friend. How you doing, Money? Money does my podcast with me. She's my boo thing. What you look like? You want to hop on? Hi, Emmanuel. Yes, he put it up there for us. See, my friends be knowing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is a time in the world. These small countries are really just like, we actually don't need you here in our country, in the whole of Africa. We don't want you here. So country by country, they're getting a backbone, and they are like breaking from the Western world and trying to make something for their own, because obviously over time they've always realized that they have the most resources and hardest working people, and they don't want them taken advantage of. They want to be able to profit from the wealth of their own continent. More power to you. So that part.
I assume, without having checked my facts, like, is that it was because he came to power because of a coup, but
But they're just now saying this in 2025.
They're
Now
just
that he's
using
told
that language.
the French, we're not using euros. We're not speaking French is not our like national language anymore. Oh, you're not eating home? Okay, darling, that's fine. It's fine. Huh? I can't see it. Hold on.
Africanism seems to be taking hold, and I love that for our people all over.
Yeah. Also, he has invited us as Black Americans to become citizens in his country. So, I mean, depending on how bad it gets, we might move to Burkina Faso. No, I'm not. Baby, the way that I can only speak English, I don't want to go and embarrass myself anywhere.
I started listening to a lot of like Afro pop in French.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
Okay, first off, Zoe does too. And I like how it sounds. There's a song that was on this show that she watched, well, that we watched called Arcane. And it's probably one of my favorite songs. It's several songs that are in French. And I'm like, okay, it's pretty jazz.
Yeah.
So
I like it.
French.
I think one girl is part like her parents are from Mali, so she's
Okay.
Mali French.
Okay.
And then I think one other artist maybe like Nigerian French, something like that. But yeah, it's just they're just it's so good.
Money, you know, I'm like super inconsistent. She said, if only she knew that we were doing a podcast today, because we were supposed to do it the other day, and she was going to click in, and
This one,
this one,
she won't stand up to the man. She has to take care of her kids, so she can't. She has to just do what they say.
yeah, I just have to go into work on, which is normally my off day on Saturday.
Be here when we say to be here.
You know, but look, we're here now.
Yes, we are.
Just keep watching and make this a $1 million podcast so that I never have to work a real job again.
$1 million just for you to quit your job.
Look, we a considerable amount of money for us to both survive in the wilderness. That would be great. Just keep watching. Oh, best friend, you're amazing. You really are. I love that for us. She's the best.
No.
She really is. She's like be picking me up when I be down.
That's a real queen.
She is. Like she's top tier. And when I be messing up her sleep train because she goes to bed earlier than I do and I call her later, do you know she still stays up on the phone with me? Even after the sleep train already came.
You know, I realize a lot of people like Loki hate you, but they're too like childish or too selfish to just admit that they don't like you. Because if I don't like somebody, I don't want them in my life. I don't want to keep them around so I can be like, look at this broad in a blue shirt. You know what I mean? Like, they don't really need a reason to dislike me, nigga. Like,
yeah.
Look at you with your black hair and your blonde tips. Like, it don't take nothing. Like,
right.
Look at you drinking out of the wrong glass.
Right.
But they want to keep you around just so they can hit on you, and it's just like,
yeah,
who has time for that?
That is true. The amount of people who keep
like
in their circle so they can say the like the snidey little remarks, and then you're like, wait,
what? I thought we were friends.
What are we with those white people called frenemies? What's happening right now? But this bitch, she's a real one.
That's cool.
She's a Philly girl, and she is.
But some people, and I'm not saying this one isn't real, but some people will talk about how real and down they are, and they will treat it as tough love. So I think that you have to be careful and sift out. They'll treat their jobs as tough love.
Oh, people who talk badly. You can't get her to say nothing bad about me. First off, this is she will tell me if I'm wrong about something between us. She will never say anything unkind or disrespectful to me in front of anybody.
Yeah.
She'll be like, Ivy, this what you want? Then yes, but bitch, this is what it really is.
How do people not get that calling you out in front of somebody else when the other person is not as cool as you? Like,
right, money. There's like super passive aggressive. Like I hate those type of friends. Not you like pretend. Girl, what you do to your hair today?
And it's super passive aggressive. But I think that a lot of people, like I said, I've literally had somebody who was proper bad at me, and when I asked them, they flipped the script. It was like, so you called to yell at me, and I was like, I'm not yelling. I'm literally saying, are you mad at me? Like,
they got you.
What are you talking about?
Because then now you have to defend yourself.
But I was never yelling. And I understood that this person is the type of person who plays the victim. Like, I don't understand. What are you talking about? Ain't nobody yelling. I'm asking you, we're grown-ups.
Yeah.
If you're mad, you should be able to be like, I can't believe you said that to me. You really hurt my feelings.
Right.
But if you don't want to fix it and you want to pretend like nothing's happening, I just I don't know what to tell you. Like, and again, that is to be expected from somebody who doesn't like you but keeps you around because they want to take their jabs. They want to be passive aggressive.
Yeah.
Like, everything is passive aggressive with them. They don't know how to directly address anything.
Or people who can never be happy for you because it points out their inadequacies or where they're not succeeding, where they want to succeed.
It's all
instead of just like putting out that joy, and then you'll get the things you want. I promise you, there is no way that the way energy is set up in the universe, because everybody doesn't believe in God, but energy is one thing that actually connects everyone. That's why you get shocked when you touch people. It's your energy. Anyway, it connects everyone. And if you're putting out good vibes, actual good like charges out into the world, that is what you connect to. Good charges. People see that in you. I don't know how many people have told me, you're so kind. Yes, I realize that I am mean sometimes, and I am like, I'm stern, and sometimes I am off putting, like, because I'll be like, what? But I'm a kind person at heart. And people see that. And the amount of people who have told me in my life, you are so kind. And I'm like, oh, thank you. Thanks for noticing that. Because it's not even that I try to be. I just grew up like that. Like, I'm my grandparents' child. I do exactly what they taught me, which is like, be a good human.
But it's important to be aware of the energy you're putting out into the world. That's why I'm not being nobody's like, I'm not taking on a sugar daddy that's married because I don't want to be the thorn in no female's side. You know what I mean? Like, if it's not an ethical non-monogamy situation, I don't know what we're talking about. Like,
Right.
I'm not gonna create wave. I'm not gonna put out energy that I don't want to receive back. And I just don't like simply something similar that you and I have discussed at your work and at where I used to work. There can be a very cutthroat nature to try to move up. But similar to how they say how you get them is how you keep them when it comes to a man.
Yeah.
How you get a job is how you lose the job. Or sorry, how you get it is how you lose it. How you get that job is how you gonna lose that job. And if you get a job from, if you're in a predominantly white space and you are cutting another black woman off at the knees constantly to get her spot, how do you think it's gonna go for you once you get in her spot?
Right. Thank you, best friends. My boo said I was super kind. She also said, someone said that today a friend made up some reason to be mad. She said I had to leave her alone if I really don't want to be my friend. Just said that. And I get that. Like, people just saying things out of nowhere, and you're like, but why are you talking about? What are you? Am I crazy?
You beefing by yourself.
Who mad with?
You beefing by yourself.
Like, they're like Seinfeld and Newman, not an actual beef. Like, you just mad just to be mad.
Just to be mad.
Get out of my face with that. Hey, Tudor.
And if you're mad, but for me, it's owning that you're mad. Yeah. If I don't like you and you come up to me and say, do you not like me? I'm going to say, no, but we have to work together.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't have to be your friend.
Or no, you're my neighbor.
Yeah.
Or no, but you're, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But again, like, it's unnecessary to be deceptive because you're already putting weirdness into
and
motion.
Sometimes it's not even that I don't like you. We just don't gel together. So it's better that we just do this work thing together, or we just live next to each other, or we just coexist in this space because our kids are friends. Sure. I don't have to be your friend because my kids love each other. Right. Like, if our kids get along so great, but we're just not compatible friends, that's fine.
You have to tolerate each other.
Yeah.
Though, but
we can sit there like this on our phones while they have the time of their lives.
Absolutely.
Say, oh, thank you for bringing them. Or you say, oh, thank you for bringing them. Sure. And let it ride. And that's the end of it.
But I don't think a lot of people want to own their feelings because they want to feel like to have to, just like a lot of people I've noticed, and they don't want to apologize.
Oh my goodness.
Like, because it's like weakness to them to be like, I was wrong, I shouldn't have done that, or I was wrong, I shouldn't have said that. Like,
I find myself, so that my kids know how to do it, apologizing. Like, we grew up in and I don't know about your household, but we grew up in generations where there was not apologies. There was like, you want this piece of cake, you want to go do this, you want to do this thing,
You ready to eat?
or you ready? Hey, you want to go to the park and do that thing you want to do? Like, what you want to eat?
Mhm.
So those are the type of apologies that we got, which were fine for us because we're different. We were different children that our
We were
kids are now.
forced to be different.
Yeah, but our parents were also different than their parents were. Like, I say that all the time. If you look at the way even work went, their attitudes were different. Like, they were laborers. And then it's coming to more, we're office, had office jobs, and our kids are more thinkers. So they're on computers. They're like in tune with their emotions and holding people accountable, even their parents. So I'm in a space where I do apologize to my children for, not for you got in trouble for this, but my reaction to this item. Hey, you still shouldn't have done this.
Yeah,
but
I'm sorry I yelled.
I shouldn't have. And not even I'm sorry I yelled.
I know that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I yelled.
Look, I don't care about yelling at them, but I'm sorry that I had this reaction. But this is the item that you did, and this is a punishable offense. This extra reaction that I had because I was pissed off about it, I shouldn't have had that one. But this is a punishable offense. Comfort apologies. Do you think it's like comforting to them or to us, just because we like, is it an apology that we are now giving because we didn't get those, or because these are apologies that our children genuinely deserve because we have wronged them? Because even if they're your kids, you can't wrong them. They're still people. We're raising adults. And I want them to be good humans. So
You can't wrong
explain,
them.
best friend.
And something that stood out to me is that I had a friend that told me that whenever his mom like whooped him, that like afterwards she would like hug him. She made like an effort to hug him and tell him that he loved him before he went to his room.
Mm-hmm.
And that really shaped him as a person. Like, he's a beautiful, kind, amazing person,
Mm-hmm.
and all of his siblings are as well. But he also expressed that he could actually hear his mom weeping in the next room because it was so difficult for her to like whoop them.
Of course.
But like, it really impressed upon him that his mom made it a point to say, "I love you." So that was never like, you never confused the whooping with like anger or like,
I don't love you. I don't care about you. Because at the end of the day, we still love you, but you're still in trouble.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you still did this thing that, yes, you're crying about it. I'm yelling at you about this, but I do love you. Because the first thing kids I know now are very quick to say is, you don't love me or you don't like me. And I don't like your action. Hey, buddy, I'm on my podcast. You need something?
Would you like a bar of chocolate?
Silly.
Thank you. Mel, can I come on and give you a hug?
You can give me a hug, yes. Stop it. You all right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Is your shirt on backwards?
No, ma'am.
Seguro?
Yes, it is, actually.
I know a no backwards shirt every time I see it. I'm like,
I'll do it.
go eat your chocolate.
Backwards
You
shirt.
say thank you?
Like your crisscross. You're welcome.
Love you, Mama.
I love you, bud.
Bye.
Please turn your shirt around and you have my pants on. Just so you know.
Thank you for letting me borrow them. Forcefully.
I tend to, my
Yeah,
middle son
listen,
never.
that's her baby. She loves him. I can't say nothing to him without her saying something to me. So this is why we met during the pandemic, and we've become like the best friends. Like, this is who I went to Jamaica with.
Internet friends are the best
And
friends.
this is when I learned Jamaicans don't really think they were slaves how we were slaves. But we'll come back to that again. And we'll talk about Jamaica and like the tour guide that we got. And I was listening to this man talking. I was like, oh, you don't think slavery was slavery. You just think you was friend.
Indentured servants.
Yes. Yes. If you want to believe that, then believe that. That's not my business. My business is over here. But yeah, that's her baby. She loves Austin.
I love it.
They click so well, but she clicks like amazing with all my kids. They just love her. Blackbird.
Chicken's name was Wettermark Keith, and apparently her name is Helen. So
because
he's a white chicken. It's the name of a law firm.
So funny. And she believed
I
that.
did. I was like, I met Wettermark Keith, and she was like, that is not his name.
You're not a Philly girl? I say that every time I talk to you. Money from Philly in
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. I'm sorry, with the Dutch. She's right. It is Pennsylvania because I always say with the Dutch. My bad, dog. She's from Pennsylvania and also think you wanted people to know exactly where you're from. I can post your address if you want. Gosh, I'm sorry, best friend. I'm just kidding. I would never post your address. Doxed by your bestie. I would never do that. It's a crazy time. No. Yeah, Helen, Mango, and other chickens. Oh, Sandy, the big girl, and then the other chickens.
Sorry about a wild snack this week.
She brought last time we had cheese and meat and fruit, and this week we have very loud pistachios. They are delicious.
And chocolate
So it's
bars.
fine. Chocolate bars. I didn't eat chocolate. Y'all know how I feel about sweets. But
You were in a bakery.
do you know how many people say this to me?
Like, girl,
It's too
what?
much sugar, friend. It's too much. It's not good for you. It's not good for you.
No, I hear you. My
Stay away.
friend got on like the off-brand Ozempic.
What is it called?
I'm not sure. I can't even. That's why I call it off-brand Ozempic because I don't know. It's
Okay.
whatever the. She said she didn't particularly like Ozempic because it gave you like a weird face, and this one was maybe a little milder.
Okay.
But she was saying
Ozempic light.
I know Ozempic. The Episcopalians of Ozempic. No, I'm just kidding. I can say that I'm Episcopalian. So she said that she could get the shot, and she was like, I never understood people who said that they forgot to eat, but on the shot you literally forget to eat because all you have to do is have a cup of like Starbies or something, and you're just like, oh, I'm good.
Oh,
Dinner.
no, ma'am.
Or till 11 o'clock at night, and you're just like like it literally forces you to starve yourself. Yeah, all day. And then she said that they made her like they moved the whole deal to like a clinic in like I guess maybe a sketchy part of town, but she had to sign a document that said that she was a food addict in order to keep getting the shots.
What in the world?
And then they sent her a text message saying, hey, we also do Botox shots, and she was like, girl, they're doing Botox now. And my sister was like, she lives in Philly. I only thought of all this because she actually lives in Philly.
Oh,
But she says, girl, they're doing Botox now. And I was telling my sister was like, yeah, it's because the Ozempic makes your face gaunt. And so the Botox fills the like lines in your face. I was like,
oh my god!
not you curing one thing with some, like causing a problem with curing.
It was like, let me
obesity,
give
but
you this
no, man.
paralyzing bacteria to make your face.
That's kind of like Olestra, where they were like, it doesn't make you gain weight, but it also makes you crap your pants. Like,
You gotta wear it
no,
depends, but
that's not. I don't
that's
want to
insane.
be able to eat chips just so that I could like boo boo my pants.
I would rather just eat the
Not
chips.
eat chips. Like, I'd rather get fat.
I'd rather be fat. I don't mind being fat. I got on shapewear today. I don't mind being fat.
That means you're happy
I know.
or sad. I don't know. Could be either one.
It's both.
If you're binge eating, because I was
Look, it's
stressed about a year and a half ago, and
Yeah.
I gained solidly like 30 pounds in less than 6 months. It was bad. Like, I went from buying like fresh new chef jackets for my
Mhm.
job, and they didn't. By the time I left, I did not fit them. It was bad, girl. I would go home and eat an entire box of Little Debbie like Swiss rolls. Like, I was just like,
I love Swiss rolls though.
they're amazing. But what I'm saying is, you're not supposed to eat the whole box. And
You-
sitting.
Really?
They are not. You are not. Not daily. Not every other day. Not 3 times a week.
I need to reevaluate my relationship with food.
You should.
I'm kidding. I don't eat like that. I joke, but I actually don't eat like that. I feel like I don't eat enough. You know what I do? I drink coffee all day. I love how coffee tastes. I love the warmth. I probably could just drink warm water and get the same feeling because I just like the warmth. I'm like a 75-year-old
Do
lady.
you like hot chocolate? Or
No.
you don't like tea?
Tea makes me very sick, and I do not know why. Because I drink some Milos all day, but hot tea, every time I drink it, I get real sick.
You've tried the other like black tea and
Everything.
tangerine and
Everything.
Earl Grey.
Yeah. Before I was boycotting Starbucks, I was drinking who are those things called? Medicine balls, which is like 2 different kinds of great tea.
Really?
Yes, it made me so sick. And
Oh my
then
God.
I have tea. I have like a cabinet full of tea. Tried everything.
You and your sensitive constitution.
Like about weird things. It is tea. It is hot tea. Because again, I could drink a gallon of Milo's. Sweet tea.
So find out what kind of tea Milo's is and drink that hot.
It's probably like
It's a lot of work.
some country leaves or some shit. They're probably like, there's not
Okay,
actually any
so-
tea in here. It's just sugar water and we
Yeah.
colored it brown.
Really?
Let me stop. I'm just kidding, Milo's. Jesus. For when we blow up and somebody looks at this and is like, Milo's isn't even real tea.
Yeah, because it's nothing like them looking up the old tweets that somebody had. Like, you remember in
75-year-old tweet.
2007 when you called some girl a witch? And you're like,
Yeah.
what?
Or when you like this post by this clan leader. But like, first off, I didn't know that's what he was. And he posted about a monkey wearing a swimsuit.
Right, like
I posted the monkey wearing a swimsuit. Said summer body. It's me.
can't be held accountable for things that I do at 2 o'clock in the morning
That part.
when I'm scrolling the
I'm just
internet.
liking. I'm just liking. It's funny. I'm liking. I'm dying laughing.
That's all I'm doing.
Also, I was talking to someone, and we were talking about eggplant sizes.
Mm.
And this person was talking to me and another girl,
Mm-hmm.
and said that if you had to do all these tricks that you didn't have enough to work with, and I said, whoa, 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 Molly missionary, because why are you lazy? And just because because you have a bigger attributes, you're like, I don't need to do all that. Yes, you do. You still need to do all that with less force. You need to be able to pretzel up. And he was like, oh, not Molly missionary. I said, that's exactly what you sounded like when you were like, you don't need all those tricks. And we were just talking about somebody angling themselves to be able to, I don't know how much we can say on YouTube.
Well, I'll say this. People like to converse about how things can be too small,
Uh-huh.
but there is such a thing as too big.
Absolutely.
If you know,
And if you're too big and you don't know how to use it, your first go-to is you don't have to do all that when you have, this
You
sounds
don't-
like somebody who doesn't have enough
Yeah.
size. First off, lazy.
yeah, it's not. There's definitely about like there's versatility, and there's also just like you're not always in the same. If you're just okay, I was in a relationship that I knew was coming to an end because we only ever did the same position. Like it was very mechanical. Okay.
Like
And
it's 3
so-
o'clock.
Right. It was very mechanical. It started the same way. It ended the same way every time. It was just like it was a repeat. It was a bad
my
night.
head off.
And you know, I don't know that it's about size or anything like that, but when it becomes that kind of routine thing,
Yeah.
it's not. I get that you don't. Every night isn't your anniversary, but like you know what I mean. Like you don't. You also don't need to have be able to set an egg timer.
I mean, you mean anal?
No,
I'm kidding.
I mean,
Anniversary,
for some people,
birthday. Yeah, for some people it is. So I needed clarity on every night not your anniversary.
or you're doing 3-4 positions and you're drinking first and you're staying up, or you're doing 2 rounds, or
Oh,
whatever.
doing
You know what I mean?
everything. Yeah, no, I 100% get that.
If you think about like the first time you sleep with someone and the way you're really like, you think about like a date and how
Right.
you put on for the representative. Like you put on their representative and your representative. The first time you have sex is also 2 representatives having sex,
Mhm.
because when your sex life regulates, you're not gonna do it the way you did it the first time, where you're like, and now we're doing it in the shower, and now we're doing it on the dresser, and now we're doing it on the bed, and now we're doing it on the footstool.
You
and
feel
now
like
we're
you're
doing it on
gonna
the back
paint
seat.
all these items in my house. Look how much of the stuff in my house is white. Do you think I am like sofa, dresser? No, ma'am.
And now I'm gonna get some water,
Mm.
and now we're gonna do it again. And now,
Now let me show you what I can do with this ice
Yeah.
and this Listerine strip and this.
In the front, in the back, like it's just always, you know what I mean? Like
What? Read that out
Like some women have skinny cheeks, gotta gauge how much clappage she can handle. That's hilarious. And
loud. Dang. Some people is X, X,
I
X,
mean-
X, X. But that's 4 X's. There's nothing that's 4 X's large.
there's some people
I know.
that are 4Xs. I like bigger dudes that gotta buy 2 seats on the airplane.
What?
I like big guys that need to buy 2 seats
2
on the
seats
airplane.
is not big, guys. 2 seats is fat. I saw that lady who bought 2 seats.
Man.
She looks awful.
Not always fat. Some people are just built that way.
Maybe on a man it's different, but that lady who had to buy 2 seats was smiling and she was wanted the 2 of us pushed together. Like, you know how AI be pushing people together? It was like, yeah, That's what she looked like.
Yeah, 6 fingers. You're like, that's
I
not.
was like, wait a minute.
That was a good picture until I noticed your
You
hand.
have 4 hands.
There were.
Why does your baby's hand look like that? That's
Oh
crazy.
my god.
He said that's fat. 2 seats is crazy.
I watched Black Mirror with Josh Shell the past week.
Mhm.
The one where the woman, they try to keep her alive on that subscription plan and they just keep adding ads.
What?
It's horrible.
That is the worst.
Like, man, I remember when YouTube was just like videos?
Yeah.
Like, I used to watch Trey Melvin. I used to watch Jenna Marbles. I had all these people that I would watch before I had kids and stuff.
Mhm.
And now YouTube is like, I'm on the premium plan because I love YouTube. I always love YouTube, but like
Mhm.
the commercials just got to be too much. Like,
It's a lot
it's
of
a lot.
ads.
It's a lot of ads. It's a lot of ads.
Yeah.
It's a lot of ads. So it's a lot of ads.
It's correct. It worked.
But
That's insane. I hate ads. I mean, I realize that ads is like it's money. They're getting money for having people's ads on there. But baby, how many? How many we need? How many ads do we need about Ozempic or flea pills or AARP? I remember loving old commercials about toothpaste and garbage bags and Bounty.
I used to like Bush's baked beans commercial. Roll that beautiful bean footage.
Yes, that dog trying to steal the secrets. First off, you have a talking dog, man.
You know what I used to watch? On New Year's they would always do, I think it was New Year's, where they would do like the funniest commercials in the world for that year.
Uh-huh.
I loved watching those commercials where it would be like,
2 seats is super outrageous, not a little outrageous, best friend. There couldn't be no man that she wants that has 2 seats. She means a big man, like a hefty man, not like a morbidly obese person.
no, I'm definitely not talking about morbid at least, but I'm talking about like
He don't need 2 seats for it. She
if,
tripping.
I'm speaking in hyperbole for sure. I'm not like
Absolutely.
big dudes. I'm talking about tall,
She means solid,
solid, big guys.
big guys. You mean like 6'6",
Like, On somebody,
350.
yeah, I'm talking about on somebody like if you
Yeah, because money likes husky dudes, right?
yeah, like if you walked onto like a bunch of welders, like a welders convention.
Yeah. People who lay pipe for a living.
Right.
Something.
They
Offshore rigging.
like throw a dart and they'd probably hit a guy that I'd be like, yes,
You were like, thank you.
you can have my number.
First off, I saw a guy like that in the gas station at BP in Montevallo. And I looked and I was like, dang, you be he was like, I get that all the time. I'm like, oh my God. Sir, go get in your truck. And he bust out laughing. He was huge.
That's like being thrown around like Barbie. Like,
I know.
it's good times.
If you could pick me up with one hand at my size.
That's what I'm saying. Like I've always felt like I was big.
Mm-hmm.
So to get with like a big like guy that was raised on like cornbread and cabbage.
Mm-hmm. Like, babe, you want to make some pinto beans and cornbread this Sunday?
Yeah. Yeah.
And yes, I do. And I'm going to keep you at this size.
3 pieces of chicken.
Was like, you want salad? I'll make some potato salad.
Right. Right. Right.
Oh,
Listen,
God.
if there is any kind of salad, there's certainly bacon in it.
Yeah.
Or like I used to be a manager and go to Corral, and there's
Oh.
anytime a black person fixed a really big salad, it always had ranch and bacon bits dripping off of it. Like you have to clean up after that.
Perfection. We're podcasting. What's up?
Chocolate?
Chocolate, darling. Hey, Gabe.
Hey, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. How you doing?
We talked about you on our podcast today.
Okay. Good thing it's there, man.
Positive.
Positive, actually. How you were so amazing and the sweetest, kindest kiddo. What'd you say, Lovey? You about to throw up? Nice. Can you not throw up in my living room? Next. Oh, you finna throw up for real, little girl? Where you going? Where you going? Yes, ma'am. There's water in the fridge. Water in the fridge.
They were out.
At his house.
They were wearing pajama pants.
She wears her pajama pants everywhere.
This generation is hilarious.
Baby, they wear night clothes everywhere.
Did you realize that bodysuits are back? Wait, shopping today? And
One piece
all the
bodysuit?
shirts like snapped at the crotch, and I was like, "What's happening? Is it 1993? 1994? What is happening? Are you wearing a bodysuit?" I was at the store like, when did this make a comeback?
When did this happen? I 100% remember wearing bodysuits when I was younger because I was thin.
I mean, we were also like 13, 14 when that was the start. I'm sorry, I'm like eating.
No, I'm older than you.
But- Okay, so if I was 12, 13, you were a 6 months or to a year. I would be
Wait.
44 in July.
Oh, we were on the same. Why did you think you were like 40?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I have a youthful look.
You do, but it's funny when you say it like that.
I don't look youthful look.
You do have a youthful look, which that was hilarious.
I gambled and I lost because when you were speaking of his or of her very well mannered partner, I was like,
No, you didn't think it was black.
I was like, I'm gonna gamble that in this neighborhood, she found the one whose parents had a good job and moved him out the ghetto. And I was crying.
So sorry. Now you see what my reservation was.
I was wrong. I was like, okay. Okay.
Huh, best friend? I'm still thinking about what, baby? Wait a minute. What was I saying? Because I didn't look up fast enough, so I don't know what I was saying 3 minutes ago.
What? Are you still thinking? My bad. I always put my fingers in the way.
It's fine. Oh,
You saw that, didn't you? I did.
what in the world? Oh, she loves me. See what I'm talking about? She said I was still thin. First off, I'm not gonna stand up for y'all to see my stomach, but she is
She's
so
not as
fine.
thin as when I first met her. I'm not calling her fat. I'm saying she has put on weight, but she also is in a place where she is constantly working. And like in a
Friend.
space where she's just like,
Now I feel bad because I weigh less than when you first met me.
did you?
Yes, bitch.
Don't look like it. Legit. I'm not even like I you smooth it like, but it's not like you put in a ton. Like it felt like you're like 15 to 20 pounds.
Foot on my neck.
Heavier. No, seriously.
Damn, bitch.
Not like a full 30, but like a
Full
pant
30
size
stretch.
or two.
I don't know. I wear elastic pants like old ladies, so I wear belts.
I bought 4 boxes of underwear from Aldi because they were on clearance.
It's the same like that. Even into the wilderness.
So that's how you know you're old when you buy clothes at the grocery store. I was like,
You said you were
sweet red wine and clearance underwear. I bought 4 boxes of underwear. They were like 6 packs. And I was like,
Oh my god.
I was gonna get some potting soil that was also on sale. But
Thanks for this, friend. Potting soil from the gas. I mean, from the grocery store.
yeah, Aldi in the hood got
Sell any
rubber
thing.
mulch and potting soil that's still left over from when they got their shipment. And because the hooded folks don't realize they just like literally giving it away. And Josh sent me to the store to buy like 15 bags of dirt because it was
What's the price?
no for rubber mulch $3.49.
What? What color?
Black,
I have the red mulch though.
brown
I
mulch.
had red. It was beautiful.
Girl, any kind of
That's
mulch
nice.
where it's not weeds is beautiful. True story. And when it's on clearance,
Mm-hmm.
it's beautiful. True story. So if you need me to bring 10 bags of mulch on the way next time I come and you cash out me and I'm just like I load it for the man that speaks Spanish to lay for you.
The way that he spoke to me and we were having a conversation,
I should have been like, get out
and
of
he
here.
goes,
Me llamo Andrea.
like that.
Andres.
I'm
You're like, sir.
He's very handsy for a gardener. I'm just kidding. He works for, he does work for the company that we work for.
Culture. Does it?
Mm-hmm. That's all about like roof work or whatever.
Really?
Yeah. So
I had
he's
one.
passing out his card. And I thought, nowhere on here to say you cut grass. That's all I need. Because it was like pressure washing, driveway, blah, blah, blah. I was like, I don't none of this shit.
Where there's a will, there's a way.
He's like, oh, I got a lawnmower. Oh, did I tell you how much he said?
Is it a lot? How much was it?
$220.
For your flat?
Yes.
No, I'll give you a number.
He said
Absolutely not.
to cut down your trees.
Oh, for the cut the trees. Ugh.
There ain't no fucking trees. Those little bushes out front to shape up my bushes. I can shape the bushes.
You get a lot done at once, babe. I would get the grass cut.
Mm-hmm.
Trees cut
Mm-hmm.
is a separate day.
Mm-hmm.
Bushes cut, also a separate day.
I want them all done at once. Then I'll just
Okay,
come back.
rich lady, then when your
Rich, I'm
bonus
not
hit,
a rich lady.
when your bonus hit, then you need to just be like,
Like that.
but you
Oh.
do it not towards like a dancer, but towards working in.
You're like grass.
Right.
Pressure
Plumbers.
washing.
Right. Pressure wash.
Chickens.
You're right.
More chickens. Listen, girl. So then he was like, okay, before he told me how, because he would never say how much to do the stuff. And he was like, oh my God, your driveway is crazy. I was like, I know. I was like, my brother does this type of work. I need to get him to fix it. And he's like, yeah. And he's like, that's a $2,000 job. I said, I can bust up that concrete and post some old concrete and hope for the best.
Better ask them to lay some gravel and make it a gravel driveway just that quick.
That fast.
Switch that up.
You're crazy.
You can get $300 worth of gravel and get the kids out there with a shovel and a rake. And
No, it doesn't have to be hauled off in Hoover. I just have to call the city.
get the sweet Caucasian kid in on it. Yeah, multiples.
I feel like everyone, like one Saturday, I should be like, hey guys, I'm ordering a lot of pizza,
ton of
a
pizza.
lot of beer, a lot of juice and water.
Mhm.
Everybody come on, let's
Bring my truck.
cut this
Literally
grass.
just
Yeah.
handing out shaved ice.
Yeah. Everybody come on, let's cut this grass. Let's do that. Yup, shaved ice guys, come on. Come on. Cut the grass, put these sticks at the end of the road. We'll call the city to come pick it up on Monday.
Drug
Oh, you
sticks
never
for
did
anybody
the
that-
quote. The quote,
That's
basically.
what I did it. I'll actually send it. I held it hostage because I was like, the minute I send her a quote, she's gonna be like,
Ghost it.
I don't have time to do this anymore because I have a real job. That you never made it to that level, so you wouldn't know how hard it is.
Don't make me laugh out loud.
And then I would be like,
Mm.
I mean, you're not wrong, but that's okay. Unnecessary.
They gonna cuss me out and drink all the beer. Crazy.
They better not. No, community is about
Yeah.
providing food
Mm-hmm.
and
For a service.
for a service, like
We're
sustenance.
gonna play music and everything.
What?
I put my speaker out there.
Yes,
Crazy. They're gonna have the time of their little.
it's gonna be good.
I was like, Black
It's gonna be
lives.
good.
They're gonna have the time of their lives. Yeah.
Yes. But I actually have to go pick up my son now, so we have to wrap up.
Money
We're over an hour.
The shade. What's shade, best friend? What did I say? What shade,
Did I
best friend?
shade you?
Did you shade me?
I don't know. Maybe.
Oh, maybe she was singing the shade about what you were saying about you never made it to the level that I'm at, so I wouldn't know.
Other job. Yeah.
Well, they're gonna be drinking beer at some point, so the weed eater and lawnmower won't be going the whole time.
Might as well.
Might as well. Yeah, money, not her shading herself about a job. 'Cause I would never have said that. But it was funny when she said it. Fuck that job. How many F words can we say on
I don't
YouTube?
know.
We have not said any, but how many can we say? Somebody Google that.
I'll stop. But
Have you said it?
that was the first one.
I feel like I've said it. With my baby dead.
Mm-hmm. She has something going on. That's why she don't want chocolate.
She should want chocolate.
She needs some ginger ale to lay down. 'Cause
I
that's
drank
what
ginger ale at work today.
Did you?
Yeah. It's just black folks cure all.
That's what I'm saying.
My hair was crazy today.
Ginger beer is like, and it's not actually beer, it's just really strong ginger ale.
Yeah.
And-
You ever had Buffalo Rock? My mom likes that one.
Oh my, that is my go-to. Don't bring me Canada Dry. I would throw it at you.
Canada Dry ginger ale.
It's not ginger ale.
It's not too sweet. Taste can't be beat.
But it's not
People
ginger.
cheat on their income taxes.
If you want to feel better,
Have you seen the commercial?
I would rather slice a piece of ginger off of the ginger root and chew it up.
Crazy.
You don't chew up a good piece of garlic when you're feeling kind of sick, where you think you're catching a cold, and you just eat a whole clove of garlic.
Lady at work just told me today. She went to, she was worked at a daycare. I'm sure she didn't work at a daycare, but she worked at a daycare in the
Lying out
80s.
here.
She worked at a daycare in the 80s, and she had like a kid there whose parents, he was sick, put garlic in his socks, so he could get better. And he was getting worse. He had to be put in the hospital. I said, damn, the 80s was mad laxed.
Not garlic in his sauce.
Yeah, getting better.
I thought she was.
You leaving?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, it is 9:44. Drive safe, kid.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
16. Just say, Mary, he's just tall.
She's 15.
Mm-hmm. She'll be 15. I mean, 16 in a hot second. He just turned 16.
She has her permit.
Yes. She can't drive. She's an awful driver. I mean, she's a great driver. Today?
Yeah.
I mean, she's a mini minor, so she can only work 6 hours.
Does she work at your job or does she work at a different job? Oh, okay.
She
In
does
your
not work at my
store?
job.
She works at
No,
different
she does not work at my job.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, she works. She has a little job.
That's cool.
She works on Saturdays and Sundays. So no matter what day I'm off, I'm still always working.
She got to get a. She but.
Who about to get something?
What's the point of having a dude if you're not gonna be at work?
Ew. Can have you gallivanting all over town with no boy.
Go.
Your mama is dropping you off.
Go. I would be like,
He be picking her
you
up.
better be at work.
And I'll be like, check this Google.
Because attendance ain't no joke at my job.
Yeah, I go get her on my lunch break.
Lot of mercy.
Every time she has to work. I take my lunch at whatever time she has to be at work.
Parenting.
Yeah. Also, they love her.
What's your drive like?
It's like she's so 22 minutes.
So your whole lunch.
Yes. My whole lunch. And then I sit for 10 minutes and mull over my life decisions.
so that's what I'm gonna do with the 10 minutes.
I do. I speed to get her, come back, drop her off, and I drop her off at the front door. And I park and I just sit like this.
With indigestion, just thinking about all your choices.
And I sit just like this. Look there. I don't even enjoy the sun on my face. I just
It's not even winter time where it's just dark in the morning,
Yeah.
dark in the evening.
yeah. So I'm in the sun beating down on me. I'm like, whew.
Well,
10 minutes up.
lot of mercy.
Well, listen. Again, always a fun podcast. This was
It was fun.
so much fun. We were really second a full today, and I loved it. Thanks. I appreciate that. Today was a great podcast, as always. A fun time. You're right, though. Yeah. The sun recharges us melanated people, and it's supposed to recharge my spirit, but I be doing like this. Anyway.
I've been line drying my clothes, so it's been really low.
Really?
Disinfecting my clothes and
I
stuff.
love the
My power bill went down. It's good times.
My power bill is mad high, but I also wash clothes every day and dry clothes.
4,000 square feet. Your house is like twice the size of mine, bro.
42,000 square
That's
feet.
insane. There's parts of this house I can't even think about right now.
Tour next time before we sit down and podcast and get drunk.
It's a lot of square footage.
We have a Harry Potter closet. I'm gonna wallpaper it like Harry Potter and
Wow.
hang out in it because it has the light and everything like Harry Potter.
Oh,
It has a bookshelf.
this is a brand new house, or you bought this from somebody else?
I'm renting this from someone. I really want to purchase it though. I kind of like this house. I like this house and the location. Oh God, this could come.
I got my house in like 2019 before
Yeah,
everything went
when everything was
bananas,
awful.
and my house like doubled in value.
Yeah, every home.
Yeah.
But if you sell it, you won't be able to buy anything.
No,
So
I'd have to get another fixer upper.
fixer upper.
Anyway, guys, it's super
Oh.
fun.
This has been real, and this has been fun. Hadn't been real fun. I'm just kidding. It actually has been real fun. I had a great time today checking in. I would make more eye contact with the screen, but I can't see. But once I start wearing glasses, you niggas is in for something. But for now, I can't really see anything. I be straining hard to read it.
We'll get used to it, hopefully.
Oh, she's so sweet. But you told me that when we were in Jamaica. She said when we were in Jamaica, your skin was glowing in the sun. Beautiful. Just beautiful. Aw, she's the absolute best.
Oh,
But my skin was skinny when we were in Jamaica. I'm made for the sun. Good night. Thank you so much for tuning in. I love y'all so much, and I appreciate the support. And I'll still talk to these same few little people. More for thousands of people watching me.
people watch later. It seems like they do watch.
They
the
do watch
replay.
later. Yes, people watch the replay because I don't do a notification that I'm live, which I will start doing because we'll become more consistent. And then, money, you'll click in like you're supposed to. Don't play with me.
It'll be a.
I love you, and thank you for tuning in to You Better Fact Check because I had wine first. I'm Andrea.
And I'm Andrea.
Thank you.